Whenever you're ready.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our weekly team call. Today is June 23rd, and we're excited that we're together. Today is Giselle Roldan's birthday. She's not on with us. She's out to dinner with her family. But when you're watching the recording, happy birthday, girl. And also, we have a few of our members who have already achieved Success Club. And congratulations to Nori Sascona, Giselle Roldan, Neris Garcia, and Idamis and Leidelin. You girls are tied. You've already helped 2 lives this month. We got 1 more to go to meet that goal. And for the rest of us, we're going, right? For those of you who are in the New York City area, we have our set date for our Fit Club that is happening July 2nd in New York City, Terrace on the Park. So make sure that you invite your prospects, invite your friends. It is free for all guests, and you're going to get to try out one of the workout programs and get to be part of our community. And you get to also taste different flavors of Shakeology. All right? So I hope to see you there. I don't want to hold off too long, and after the call, at the end, I'll share a little bit more about what will be happening in the upcoming months, because tonight I feel very honored. I am completely excited to have what I call my coach whisperer, which is Cim Carver. He has a huge title for Beachbody, but to me, he's my mentor. He's my friend. He's a man that I can relate to because we have similar values, and we've struggled with a few of the same things. So, he's touched my heart just with his soul of being a man of service and doing things from the heart. So I'm honored to welcome you to our team call and to have you as our guest speaker. The floor is yours.
Well, I'm excited to be here, Nidis. Thank you so much. And I'm also, all those things you said about me, I hope I can live up to them one day. But I'm also right now a very sweaty man. I'm over at my parents' house, and they are 2 months into a complete home remodel. And tonight I am putting in the floor in one of the last 2 bedrooms. And it was funny, as I was putting in the floor, I was like, okay, I've got this call coming up. I need to make sure that I'm all cleaned up with that. You know what, actually? Based on what I'm going to talk tonight, it probably would fit. It like I was coming in character if I keep looking like a sweaty mess. And so here I am looking like a sweaty mess on the phone call. I'm glad you guys can't smell me. My daughter right here, Ellie, say hi to everybody. My daughter's with me. She can smell me. She's glad that you're not here smelling me because she doesn't want to be here smelling me. But anyway, it's interesting. It's always fun for me to get on these calls because I have I work with Unides. We talk weekly. She talks about you guys. She brags you up. She talks about the things that you're doing, the concerns that she has, and I hope that you guys understand and know what a good leader she is for you guys. She has a singular desire to help you be successful, and I'm sincere when I say that. Not all coaches are lucky enough to have a leader that feels like that, and she does that about you guys. And so it's fun for me to get on these calls when I feel like I know some of you by name, but now I get to see your face, or at least a little window into your home. It's kind of like a voyeur thing. It's I don't know, sometimes it feels weird, but I get a chance to chat with you. And as I've been thinking about this, one of the things that I know that this team is at, and speaking with Unides, is we are at that. There's a time in every business when the leadership and the coaches within that kind of grow to a point where what got them there won't get them to the next level of where they need to go. The existing talents and things that they came into the business with as coaches, those things are still important, but in order to keep progressing, it takes a little bit something else, a little bit different, a little bit more. And that's always an interesting time to watch a team go through that, because there's moments of confusion. They're wondering, okay, what happened? What's going on? How come this isn't slowing down? What do we do? There's fear, there's doubt, there's excitement in a lot of ways, because it's an exciting time if you keep pushing through it. But it's also a time where I just want to reassure you, I guess the message I wanted to communicate tonight is hopefully one of reassurance and encouragement. From this standpoint, one of the things that I will forever be grateful for my father is my dad taught me how to work. he always taught me the value of hard work, and that really, those of you who have heard me tell a couple stories, but the hard work is the great equalizer. That's one of the things when I look at my children, I hope that I can convey that to them, that I can help them I can teach them the value of hard work. Because here's the thing that I've learned, that all the things that we truly want, the only thing that separates us from those things is time and effort. Time and effort, persistency over time, and then the effort to keep going there. Time and effort. That's all that separates us. If we're willing to put in the effort and put in the time, we can achieve the things that we set our mind to. You're not born with some magical skill or magical ability. It's time and effort. And so for me, that's always very encouraging, because I know that I will work, that I will do the things that's required. I won't be perfect at it. I won't be perfect at it all the time. I'm going to make mistakes. But I'll tell you what, just like Will Smith said, if both of us get on a treadmill, there's either going to be two options. Either you're going to get off before me, or I'm going to die, because I'm going to keep running until I keel over dead. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going on this. And the thing that I've learned is that when you go into business for yourself, you almost have to have that attitude. You're not going to have a boss or anything else to kind of put those things in your mind. You've got to have that attitude yourself in your business, and be patient with yourself as you're growing into your business. And so ask yourself right now, okay? Am I putting in the effort? Am I putting in the time? Or am I just showing up? See, there's a difference, you guys. And I was talking with Anidis about this. When I look at this team, we talk about, so how do we take these steps then? Well, the first thing is to make sure our mind is in the right place. There's a difference between wanting something and owning it, okay? And what I mean by that is it's easy to want things. I want to be successful. My daughter wants me to give her money all the time. My son always wants me to buy him clothes. We all want things. I talk to coaches. I want to hit Success Club. I want to help people. I want to do these things. And that's not a bad thing. It's okay. That's kind of where it should probably start there, with a desire. But the funny thing about wanting something is wanting something doesn't accomplish anything. You have to own that. That want has to turn into the actions that demonstrate a sincere commitment to what you're trying to do. And so when we talk about how do we elevate ourselves, if we're kind of in this transitional phase as a team, and we're looking to take that next step, how do we take that next step? And you guys, it's not complicated. We can't stop looking for a magic bullet, stop looking for a shortcut. I promise you, I've been doing this for almost 20 years. I'll tell you exactly what it is. It's setting a goal within the next 30 to 60 days. It's prioritizing the activities that will help you reach that goal, making a commitment to do those activities every single day and be accountable to them. And then once you reach that, you set another goal and you do the same thing, and you do the same thing. And you become a relentless machine that's disciplined to set goals and achieve goals. Now let me talk about those goals. Those goals shouldn't be goals that are out of your control. Okay? That's why sometimes having a rank goal can be kind of iffy, because that's not totally in your control. What's in your control is how many conversations do you start? How many people do you get in your challenge groups? How much do you engage those people in your challenge groups? Okay. How many invitations are we extending? Those are things in your control. Those are great goals for you to have that cause things to be pushed forward. And so I would definitely start with controllable goals within the next 30 to 60, 90 days. And then you line up and prioritize the activities to accomplish those goals behind them. And keep in mind, guys, it's not going to be complicated. Our business is not complicated. It's not easy, but it's not complicated. The thing I've seen over the years is that that coaches oftentimes will see the simplicity of, for example, the 4 vital behaviors, or they'll see the simplicity of certain things, and they'll discount because in their mind, they almost seem too simple. But guys, there's power in understanding simple things deeply. And my challenge to you then is, just let's say between now and Summit, look at those simple things like you're a brand new coach. Try to understand them deeply again and engage in them deeply. Start with your challenge. First of all, start with your own fitness. If you're not currently doing a program, do a program. Have the discipline to start. Don't wait till Monday. Don't wait till next week. Start tomorrow. You know how to do this. You're a coach. Start tomorrow. Get on a program. Be a proof the products work. Have the discipline to do that. That's where it starts. The second thing is then you got to run kick butt challenge groups. Your best coaches will come from your challenge groups. That is how this business was built. That's how this company was built. People that come out of those challenge groups with good experiences, that have beliefs in the products, those are the coaches that become your leaders. All right? And so run kick butt challenge groups. Between now and Summit, run an amazing challenge group. Challenge yourself to fill that challenge group with 5, 8, 10 people. Push yourself to be able to do that. Get that challenge group and make that challenge group amazing. And then within that challenge group, as people start to have success, reach out to them in a sincere way. Talk to them about how coaching could benefit them as they're seeing those same results, how those same results could inspire other people. Guys, our business isn't complicated. It's not easy. It's not complicated. And so when we talk about, again, this transitional phase of where you guys are at to pushing forward, we don't need to overthink those steps. In fact, a lot of times we just have to go back to the basics and take those simple things and understand them deeply once again. All right. Now, in addition to the goal setting, one of the things I might challenge on between now and Summit is to complete a personal development book. Okay. If you're not currently doing personal development, to do personal development, I'm going to give you a couple suggestions. One I'm reading right now that I really like is called Grit, Grit. It's the power of passion and perseverance. And I love the book because it talks about how what I just talked about here, actually, it's that talent oftentimes can get in our way because we can get satisfied thinking we're all that in a bag of chips. But the people that really succeed are the ones that are passionate about something. They've got a why. And their perseverance, meaning they put in the time and the effort, just the things we're talking about right now. So read the book Grit, or read the book Take the Stairs, which is a book about discipline. And think about those things. The goal in all of this is that between now and Summit, we string together a couple of goals that become successes for our business, that become successes for ourselves. That's how momentum is built. That's how momentum's created in our teams, is by connecting little successes in sequence with each other, connecting those little sequences. You're going to have days where it's not going to work. You're going to have days when it's going to get frustrating. But the commitment I want you to make to yourself is it's never going to be 2 consecutive days in a row. Life will happen, but don't let 2 consecutive days come in a row. Win the day every day you can, but don't let 2 days go by without you falling or in a row without you committing and engaging in those behaviors, you guys. And honestly, Unidis, I was thinking about 5 or 6 other things that I could talk about, but I want to just keep this message really, really simple for you guys right now, okay? I want you to really just be able to dwell on those ideas, those topics, and ask yourself. So coming out of this call, this would be what I'd hope you do. Before Summit, okay, in the next 4.5 weeks, here's my goal. Here's what it's going to be. It's going to be a controllable goal. Then here are the things that I commit to do. So I have a priority, I have an action plan. And then here's a way that I'm going to be accountable to Unidis or to someone else, but to get those things done. Okay? That's going to be the second thing, is that we're going to focus on getting ourselves in a program if we're not already, and running an amazing challenge group. And really focusing on putting together a great challenge group and really using that step as a reigniter, or I guess a reminder of some of the core things that we do as coaches. And if you guys will take those 3 things to heart for me, as simple as I know they sound, you're like, wow, this is really underwhelming. I thought that this guy knew what he was talking about. I do know what I'm talking about. Do these things, simple things, deeply understood, okay? Do those things, and then come up to me at Summit. Come find me. I'll be the tall white guy with the big head. Looks like a Q-tip, right? Just come talk to me. Come grab me. Tell me how it went. I promise you, if you will do these things, you will see a difference. You will see a difference, and you'll want to see a difference, okay? So other than that, Unidis, I thought I'd just leave I'd open up for questions and answers. If anyone has some specific things, situations in their business they want some help on or whatever, I thought that might be the good way to kind of spur things. So let's just do that.
Definitely. This is a very talkative group, so guys don't all talk at the same time. I'm
just sitting in my parents' backyard against the fence here, so don't mind me.
You know, as a member of this team, one of the things that I hear, we're very passionate people, and we are emotionally run by this business. We want to help people, and we get stuck on those people who tell us they want to join us. And then we get discouraged when those people who said they're coming then never answer us back.
Yeah.
How do you bounce back from those objections and continue to move forward?
Well, there's 2 things I would say to that when I work with coaches. The first thing is, let's talk about if it's already happened, okay? if it's already happened, one of the disciplines that you have to have as a leader is to not take on the responsibility of other people's decisions. Part of the thing when you, and it doesn't surprise me at all, because Unitas is the same exact way. You guys are big-hearted people. You guys love quickly, and you want to support. You are helpers, nurturers by nature. And so when people come to you and they're asking for your help, your instinct is sorry, just mosquito bit me, so Zika virus or something. I hope not. But your instinct is to just go and just help them, and you have to have. And so when they don't respond, it's natural to feel like, oh my gosh, like I overcommitted. Did I scare them off? Did I come on too strong? I mean, all those things that kind of get in your brain a little bit about it. And so there is a real discipline in a people business to not take on the responsibility for other people's choices. You have to remember that it's not you. When other people make a choice, it's not you. It's their choice. It's a choice that they're making. The second part to that is kind of preventative. The preventative approach is what I call the Jamie principle. Let me explain. When I started high school, as a sophomore, junior, and a senior, I fell in love with the same girl every year. Her name was Jamie. And every year, seriously, no lie, every year this is how it went. The beginning of the year, we started hanging out. I was like, man, this girl is so pretty. I love her to death. She's so fun. And I was getting all these visions of grandeur and romance in my head. And so then I would try to kind of see if I could escalate the relationship into something a little bit more. And every single year she told me, you know what, Kim, you're just like my brother. You know, you're just a good friend. And it would like just blow my mind. It just destroy me. And the thing that I didn't learn, this is why I call it the Jamie principle, is my inclination, and a lot of big-hearted people's inclination, is you go all in right away. You go all in with any little indication. Like, all she would do would just be nice to me. And I'm like, I love her. I'm in. You know, I'm all the way in. And so I know that's my inclination, okay, is that when someone gives me a little bit of that positive feedback, or in your case, someone says, oh, I want to do this, your instant response is to go all in, chips all in, emotionally all in, everything's all in, all in, all in. Where you have to be careful is when you give away the house right up front, there's not a lot left behind that you can use. And so as weird as this might feel to you, you have to be, as preventative again, you have to be willing to go a little bit farther than they're going to come with you because they're brand new, but you don't commit yourself emotionally until they start reciprocating some of that commitment. Meaning, when you first start coaching with them, they might be saying everything that you want to hear, and you're just like, oh yeah. But then you give them an assignment. Hey, do these activities. Do these daily things to help yourself find customers. And if they're not doing it, follow up them. Hey, are you going to do these things or what? But if they don't do it, then you don't continue to pour into those people, right? You've given them enough and then you wait for them to kind of reciprocate back some commitment so that your commitment can escalate according to their escalating commitment as well. Does that make sense, Unitas?
That makes a lot of sense. So it's like you have to show up as much as they show up. Give your heart, but don't give yourself.
Yeah, I mean, you can't instantly fall in love with them. That's why I call it the Jamie principle, right? Because as a coach, sometimes you do that, right? You find them, you've been looking for a coach, they come in and they're like, oh my gosh, I am so excited for this business. Like, you and I are going to kill this thing. And oh my gosh, girl, it is going to be phenomenal. I'm telling you, you and I were on the same page. It's so simpatico. It's going to be phenomenal. Boom, boom, boom. And in your mind, you're just falling in love, just like I did with Jamie every year. Oh my gosh, we're going to be forever. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be, and not one thing has happened.
Exactly. And then you're like, did that all happen in my head? And it's
and then they go, we just want to be friends, and you're like, what? Because in your mind you had already dated, courted, been engaged, and you were married, and they weren't there. So that's why I call it the Jamie principle, is you have to just have that discipline with new people to be excited about it, but not be emotionally committed to it until they show that same emotional commitment back in their actions and the things that they do.
Awesome. Guys, feel free to ask questions. If not, I'm going to ask Kim the questions you ask me. One of the things, Kim, is that we have is the fact that, we have those new coaches that come in and they have that warm market. And the warm market is available and ready to go. And they're just ready to just jump and join the team and join the groups and join everything. Now, when that list diminishes, it feels like a balloon has popped and now everyone is deflated. And now no longer this feels easy.
Yeah.
So I've been doing this for 3 years now. It's going to be 4 in November. And I sort of understand that it's almost like you reinvent yourself every month, every time you try to figure things out. But what's your advice for a brand coach?
No, that's a really good question. In fact, honestly, you guys, most of the difficulty that coaches have in inviting, it's not an inviting problem, it's a network problem. Okay, and what I mean by network is their contacts, their social media contacts, their in real life contacts. And so one of the things I try to teach is within the first 90 days of a new coach's time with you, there should be a concerted effort on your part to help them build habits to add new eyeballs to their network on an ongoing basis. And the reason is because as that warm market number starts to decline a little bit, you need to start having that cold market, if you will, that market they didn't come to you with, starting to pick up some of the slack. All right. And so two answers to this again. The first one for new coaches, make sure within the first 60 to 90 days, 90 days at the max, that you've got them adding 2 to 3 new eyeballs a day to your network. And I'm not saying passive, like, oh, look, I got 5 friend requests today. I'm saying I went out, I initiated conversations with people in groups and with environments that I know they're the kind of people where we have common interests, and I brought them into my network. Okay. Those are the kind of ways I'm saying adding context. The passive ones that just kind of show up, those are just kind of gravy. The second thing, so that's for new coaches. Okay. Now, if you're an existing coach, it's honestly, guys, it's the same thing. If you're struggling hitting Success Club, if you feel like you're posting, you're not getting the same mileage out of it that you used to, it's a network problem. It's not an inviting problem. The thing you need to do is spend the next 90 days really going on a blitz, on a concerted effort to add people to your network, so you're getting more eyeballs exposed to what you're doing, and get yourself in a daily activity of adding those 3 to 5 people every day to your network. I know for some of you that sounds really intimidating, like a high number. But if you get in the habit of spending 15 minutes touching base on different groups, commenting, liking these, you will be initiating conversations proactively with people who already have common interests that you have. Okay. And those will result in those people following you, making those connections. Those aren't even Beachbody conversations. That's like, hey, we both like chocolate labs. All right, let's talk about chocolate labs. And we commiserate on what that looks like. And boom, all of a sudden we've got another person joining our network proactively. And so it will take about 90 days of doing that before you start to really see it on the back end, on the outside. But if you get in the habit of doing that consistently, then that's new eyeballs all the time that are starting to see your message and seeing the things that you're posting. And that's honestly the key to it. Whenever I have someone saying, man, I used to have an easier time hitting Success Club, but right now it's just been so hard this last little while, I always say it's a network thing. Are we getting enough eyeballs on our message? Are we doing the things we need to? Now, this time of the year, it is typically a little bit slower. There's lots of distractions. So you do have to put in more effort to get the same results. But still, typically, if you're not proactively adding those new eyeballs to your network, you're in trouble. And I saw someone, I think it was Saudi, posted that she actually prefers the cold network. The funny thing is when coaches first start, they actually like their warm market because they feel more comfortable there. But the reality is your warm market knows you so well that sometimes they're also the one that are going like, what do you mean you're coaching? What are you talking about? Get over here and have 15 empanadas, and they're like, they're throwing all kinds of stuff at you. And whereas your cold market, you tend to have more credibility sometimes with your cold market. And so I think a lot of coaches find that once they start actively going in and seeking that cold market, it's a lot easier to build those trusting relationships for their business in their cold market. But you definitely have to learn how to get there.
Definitely. All right. I'm going to stay quiet so that you can ask any questions, guys. He's sitting in the back of his parents' house and he's getting...
I'm sitting at the fence. I am a sweaty mess. I smell like a sock.
All right. I won't sacrifice you much. How are you, Cim?
I'm
Thanks
great.
for joining.
How are you? Oh, my pleasure.
So all about setting goals, and it's mid-year. So everybody has set some goals, and up to today, maybe some of us haven't met them. How to deal with that?
Okay.
And how to come back, I guess.
No, that's actually a really good point. So let's think about goals then for a minute. Okay. First of all, I'll answer your question directly. So we set goals and we don't reach them. Okay. That happens. Okay. That is something that it happens to all of us. How we handle that is really how we view the role of goals. Do we view our goals as being judgments on us, or do we view our goals as something that gives us priority and direction? And so now nobody likes to set a goal and miss a goal. In fact, if you don't feel a little bit of twinge of pain when you miss a goal, you never really owned the goal to begin with, okay? And so the fact that you feel a little bit of pain with it is a good thing. It's like, man, I freaking missed that day, and it makes me really mad. I'm upset. I'm frustrated about it. And it's okay to feel that. Now, how quickly how long you dwell on that is an indication of your maturity, I think, in emotionally when it comes to kind of leading yourself. And again, that goes back to how you view the goal. Okay. So the value of goals, in my opinion, is that it focuses and prioritizes your time. It gives you something to shoot for that allows you to sift through all the other options that you can be able to do. And it also gives you opportunities to build positive momentum. So if you missed a goal, I would not let more than 5 hours go by. Give yourself 5 hours to mourn missing the goal. And then you put another goal in place. Okay. And then you put another goal in place. You don't let yourself pretend like that goal is a referendum on you as a person. It's not if you make it, it's what you do with it. So for example, even if you achieve it, what do you do with it? Some people go, oh, I hit it, but man, I could have done it, and they diminish the goal. Celebrate the goal, okay? If you miss the goal, feel the pain of missing the goal, but then what are you going to do with that? Are you going to turn around and be more committed to that next goal? Are you going to look at it and say, okay, well, I set a goal that really was kind of out of my control, and so I'm going to be better about making sure I set goals that are in my control right now that will push those other goals. What did I learn from that? And then you'll get better at it. You will miss goals. How you respond to that is a bigger, I guess, is of greater importance than the fact that you missed it. Does that make sense, Norris?
I unmuted. Absolutely. It's 5 hours. I love it. No, it's true. No pity party longer than 5 hours.
Yeah, well, it doesn't do any good, you guys.
It really doesn't.
And it's like I said, it's hard if you've been pushing for something and you miss it. That just shows that you cared about it. But have the self-leadership enough to say, okay, so what did I learn from this? How can I get better? Then set another goal and get right back in the saddle again. Get right back in the saddle again. You're going to, in a year's time, you're going to miss some goals. If you're setting them every 30, 60 days, you're going to miss some of those goals. But if by the end of the year you've hit more than you've missed, your business is going to have grown. You're going to have helped a lot of people.
Yeah, the actions can't change.
Yeah. But if it causes you to kind of, crawl in a corner and suck your thumb and run away from the world, not want to talk to your upline and all that kind of stuff, then, that doesn't show that.
Hibernation,
that's not,
right?
Yeah. Well, it's not indicative of someone who is leading themselves effectively. It's indicative of someone who is allowing outside circumstances to dictate their actions.
So
and that's an opportunity for growth. If that sounds like it's you, it's an opportunity just to grow and to have the discipline to get back on the saddle.
Thank you so much, because we do come across a lot of that, and we're only human, and we do have a lot of heart. And when we fail, a lot of us go into hibernation. We go into hiding mode.
Yeah.
And, some of us even disappear for quite some time.
Well, and you think about the people that inspire you the most are the people who have the difficulties and they keep going. I'm blessed to have 2 children with special needs. And one of the things I look forward to every summer is I get to coach their baseball team. There's one right now. There's Caleb. Say hi, Caleb.
Hey.
And so I get to coach their baseball team. One of the things I love about coaching their baseball team is that I get kids out there that are in wheelchairs, that have cerebral palsy, that have all kinds of stuff. And they're out there playing. And my goal is in that time that it's not about having special needs or being handicapped, that it's about playing baseball. And when I see those kids, not only does it put things in perspective for me, but it inspires me from the standpoint of what things are really hard. When I look at what these kids, I go, you know what? It's not, these kids are out here struggling with stuff that I'll never have to struggle with. And they're smiling and they're doing what they've got to do. They're not wallowing. They're playing baseball. And that's always been very motivating to me when I think, man, okay, I missed this, or I'm not up to this. I'm not measuring up. And I go, you know what? How I'm going to be measured is how I respond to those things, how I elevate, what I do with the hand that I get dealt. And I want to be the kind of person that when life deals me a hand like that I go, okay, you know what? This kind of sucks. I'm feeling the pain for a minute, but I'm not going to let it bury me. I'm not going to let it paralyze me, and I'm not going to run. Because I know the people in my life who've inspired me the most aren't the ones that seem like they're always successful. It's the ones who had to fight for it. And those are the ones that touch me, at least.
I love that. Joey would love to have you as a coach. We fall 7 times and we get up 8, right?
Right. You got it, Norris.
Thank you. That was my question.
All right.
Good.
Go for it, guys. Ask your questions. Kim is ours.
Not all at once. You see, they talk a lot. I don't know. What else can we ask? We have Kim on the line. Like, hello.
You know, Kim,
Well, you can always send me a Facebook message too if you don't want to ask in front of the group. But
all right. Well, I think we're done. I think we're pretty much covered. We covered goals. We covered, I know we've always covered the why and how important that is. And right now, I think one thing that I continue to tell myself is, because I do notice the change in our population and in the audience and in the conversation and the objections that I'm getting right now, where everyone is in like the summer mode, relaxation, vacation time. How do we keep the momentum going in our business? Because we don't shut down because it's summer. We don't go on vacation because it's summer. We're still here, and our doors are still open for business. Now, are there any ideas or tips that we can share or keep in mind to keep us going towards?
Well, honestly, guys, it's not complicated. You're probably not going to answer, but you just do it. You just keep going, because people are watching, and even when they're not responding, they're watching and they're building credibility. And it might take 5 times the effort to get Success Club in months like these. And that just means that you're going to have to put in 5 times the effort to be able to do that and have that expectation in your mind. If it's unreasonable as a business owner to think that the wind's always going to be at your back, to think that things are always going to be, there's times like this in every year when you're going to have to kind of knuckle down and do it. The funny thing is this is when the growth happens, and you deny yourself the opportunity to growth if you kind of run and hide from it. If you just wait a little bit, say, well, we'll wait till the fall. And the lie that we tell ourselves is that we can just switch on and off our business like a light switch, right? I'm going to show up, and then I'm going to come back, and then I'm going to leave, and then I'm going to come back. And it doesn't work that way. It really, really doesn't work that way. And so you just do it. You just keep going. Now, I think there's things you can do, like making things fun, theming things, doing stuff like that I'm sure you're thinking of. But the takeaway from this call, okay? And I'll answer that, Rosa, actually. I've got a good answer for that. But the way that you do things right now, what I would hope you get after this call is that you, before you go to bed tonight, that you write down, okay, what am I going to do before summit? And what's going to be my goal? And then what are the prioritized action things that I'm going to put in place to reach that goal? And that you commit yourself to it. And even if it feels weird, if it feels strange, maybe you're out of practice with it, I don't know, that you do that. And if you're not in a program, that you get in a program starting tomorrow. Don't wait. Get in that program. Start tomorrow. Get those challenge groups. All those things we talked about tonight. The thing that I always get worried about on these calls is that we get off these calls and people are like, yeah, okay, that was good. It made sense. And then nothing changes, because nothing changes until we make a decision, until we actually start doing something. And it's this, Jeff Hill says this all the time, but it's the start that stops most people. And so you waiting for permission or waiting for someone to make it easier is not going to happen. And so let's not wait. Let's get going. Now, Rosa asked a question on there, which is a very good one. How can I attract coaches if I'm not, I think I only read part of it, but basically if I'm not making a lot of money, how can I attract people to coaching? I think is kind of what she was getting at. Is that, Rosa, if that's not
so she's a fairly new coach. So she says, how do you attract active coaches when you are a new coach without the financial success stories?
Awesome. So what you do is you don't rely on financial success stories to attract people. If you try to use financial success stories to attract people, you're going to get people who come in only looking for the quick dollar, and they're not going to stick with you. You're going to invest a lot of time and energy into those people, and they're going to come in and be like, oh my gosh, I've been working this business for a month and I'm still not making, $5,000. I'm out of here. And so one of the things that I recommend for new coaches is a place where you can talk with absolute authority and credibility is in those challenge groups. Help people get those challenge groups. Within those challenge groups and in your social media posts, talk about the benefits of coaching, how it makes you feel, the fact that you like to have an income stream that you can control, how you enjoy helping people. Share when one of your challengers had a good experience, talk about how that made you feel, how that was an elevating thing. When you get a commission check, even if it's not great, talk about how it feels like to be able to building an income stream you control. Those are all things that people can relate to. People can't relate to, oh, I made $5,000 this week. Most people, that's just too far away. They might like to think about it. It might be like, oh my gosh, I want some of that. Okay, great. But are you willing to put in the work to do it? So if I'm you, I look at finding the disciplined, committed people who have belief in the product from my challenge groups right now. I promote coaching to those people primarily. And if I have people that come in interested in coaching, I say, awesome, for your first month, you're going to go through a challenge group, because you've got to get to love these products and know these products before you can effectively start talking to other people about them. And so that's one of the things that's interesting about network marketing, is that in this business, there are some bad habits, in my opinion. Again, I'm very opinionated in this. You guys can look at me and say, Kim, suck it, you know what you're talking about. But in my opinion, having seen this over the last 20 years, is people go too often to the money story, because it feels like it's a need that everyone has, which is true. But then what it creates is people that come to you looking for quick money. Well, here's the deal, guys. We're not a get-rich-quick program. We're a program of investing and helping in people. And what that means is sometimes it takes work and effort. And people that come to you looking for quick money aren't ready to put the discipline and working time to actually get that quick money. If they are, you telling them to get through a challenge group and get their own experience, believe in the products, is going to make sense to them as a business owner. There's not one successful entrepreneur in this world who does not passionately believe and support their products. Okay? There is not. And so it has to start there. They have to be there. So again, if I'm a new coach, all the credibility in the world I have all I need is to help my challengers be successful. I focus on my challenge groups, and then I talk about the benefits I enjoy of coaching, and let that lead into people being interested in coaching primarily outside of my challenge groups. Whoa!
That was an excellent answer, my friend.
That was like rapid fire diarrhea out of my mouth answer. I hope that made sense.
That was good. Saudi, you're here. I think you unmuted yourself.
I owe Saudi numbers. Saudi, I'm halfway through my analysis for you. Don't kill me.
Dude, Kim, I've become your groupie. I've been hopping on wherever I find you. I'm actually
and that's why he hasn't given you numbers.
Well, you want to know what it is? When things are slow, and it's like Kim shared that these are the seasons of this business. This is just the way it is. But because the seasons are slow, I have to, as a leader, become creative and try to find every which way that I can get content and information and leak what Kim is sharing on this call tonight to the entire team, because as a leader, I can't let people give up. You know what I mean? But Kim, I have a question for you.
Talk to me.
I'm more looking for a message. So everybody knows you're coming for Super Saturday. I don't know that a lot of coaches know that most of the coaches you work with are from Team Eagle. And
like 70%.
Yeah. Like how many percent? I don't know.
70, almost 70% of the coaches I work with are Team Eagle.
So you guys are hearing that. So I have you live right now on Facebook.
Oh, fantastic. Hello, everyone. I'm sweaty because I'm installing a floor at my parents' house during a call.
No, this just shows your dedication and it shows, your passion for this business. And it's just extraordinary that we have you as a mentor. But Kim, what I want is for you to share some words. And my question is, what are your expectations when you arrive here in New York City, being that you helped us get the city to 10,000 plus coaches, and not only the city, because we have coaches from all over the states.
Yeah.
But you have set expectations for us before.
Yep.
And, I want to hear from you so that Team Eagle.
Yeah, no, that's great. So let me tell you, here's my thought. Whenever I haven't been out to New York since December, so it's been almost 6 months. This is the longest I've gone since I moved home from New York, from being out in New York. And so I'm actually really anxious to get out there. If you were to ask me what my expectations are right now, when I get there, I'm expecting a couple things. I'm expecting about at least 500 people at that event. Just because New York has a reputation on the network that's kind of the minimum that they draw to these events. So if you ask me what I'm expecting to see when I walk in, I'm expecting to see 500 people at that event. Well organized, well executed. I'm expected to feel energy and passion and all the things that are there. I'm expected to see some of the coaches that I've been working with coming out of Summit with some really clear plans about what's going to happen, how they're going to implement some stuff. I'm going to be cornering you that I work with, and we're going to be talking through that a little bit. I'm going to come out there, bringing some. So some of you kind of heard what we did in Chicago. We're going to do something similar out there, which I think will be very good. And so you're going to leave Super Saturday filled. But the thing that I guess I'm just assuming is going to happen is we're going to have those kind of numbers. We're going to have that kind of energy, and we're going to come out of there much better than we went there. I'm going to be filled with. I'll tell you right now, it's going to be. I'm looking forward to it right now. Like I'm so anxious to get back out to New York to see you guys. There are some key individuals that I won't name specifically that I've been kind of watching, and I'm hoping to see growth, especially before Summit. You guys know who you are, that we can talk about, since I don't know if I'll be able to talk to you much at Summit, because usually I'm pulled 100 different ways. But those are my expectations, you guys. I mean, when I think New York, I think leadership, and I think results, and I think people who don't need to be babied or coddled. I think it's like, look, we're professionals. We make this thing happen, and that's what I expect, nothing less.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Cim. I love, everything you shared, especially when it's revolved around Super Saturday, because one of the things, I'm not too organized when it comes to, setting those time frames, right? Like setting those dates. Like when you say, when you miss a goal, you just set a new date, right? For me, my dates have always been Super Saturday. And I've always measured my success based on, okay, so how many new emeralds am I going to bring? Like how many new diamonds are coming out of my team that I can see stand up at Super Saturday, and I can, cheer them on. Like, so for me, like, I hope that you guys get excited that Cim is coming, but more or less feel responsible enough to tell Cim, listen, Cim, I'm here with 2 new emeralds. I'm here with 2 new coaches. Or, I took all your advice from that call with Unides, and I grew my business by this % or this amount. And
yeah, come tell me, you guys, when we're there. Please come tell me. I'll remember this call. I'll remember this conversation.
Awesome. Thank you, Cim.
Okay, guys. All right. Well, I'm going to go finish installing this floor so I can go home sometime tonight.
Thank you so much for your time, and we really appreciate you. Thank you.
And I want you guys to see, this is the real rock star. She spends all of her day at her parents' house painting and doing floor. I mean, it's ridiculous. So
let's see if she remembers Unides.
Of course she remembers Unides.
How are you?
Fine, how are you?
I'm doing good.
It's being recorded, so now you're on camera forever in your
good.
baseball hat.
Yeah,
Exactly. All right, you guys, we'll be good. Thank you guys so much for the chance to be here, and we'll talk to you soon, okay?
All righty. Thank you. Have a good one.
You guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So there you have it, guys. Make sure if you have not been into the Super Saturday event and purchased your tickets, make sure you do so. And also set those goals up so that we have a lot to celebrate come Super Saturday. And that's going to be coming right out of Summit. So that momentum will continue moving forward. And that's all we need, a little bit of fire to get us going. So I'm looking forward to receiving some emails back with your goals and what is it that you're going to be working with from here till he said 60 to 90 day challenge. We're going to be thinking of goals that we can control. And, I do the same. I set myself up with very scary goals. Do I meet all of the goals that I set out to do? Maybe not. But I focus on always elevating my leadership, always elevating the way I present myself, always growing so that I can expand my network. One thing that he mentioned that I related to fitness is if you put yourself in the mindset that, let's say you're only going to do 4 reps. So if you get to the 4 reps, like 4 sit-ups, 4 push-ups, 4 squats, 4 burpees, you're really going to get mediocre results. But if you know that your program, and I'm doing P90X right now, if your program requires you, he says, put that number in your mind before you get started. So you put 16 in your head. It's as a number that you're going to do as a repetition. In your mind, it's already done. Your mind says you're doing 16. So whether your body does it or not, it's not up to question here. The goal is your mind is able to move your body to achieve those 16 reps. So that's exactly what happens when we set ourselves up with a goal that is higher than what we would normally expect. We're going to move ourselves regardless of what our body, our potential thinks, because our body achieves what we move it to. So set yourself up with the goal and then go and fit the shoes of a person who is going to be writing that goal. And you'll see that you're going to grow in such a way that you're going to stay in awe, because you will realize that, wow, I could do much more than I give myself credit for. So try that. Test it out and see and believe that you will be amazed at what will happen. All right, guys. So with that, if you don't have any other closing comments, questions, I think we're going to say good night. Okie dokie.